Hey, needless to say, we have a new rig. I ended up picking up this guy on my birthday. It was super spontaneous. Not really like me to just go buy a vehicle on my birthday, but the price was good. The location was good. It was like 35 minutes away. It's a runner, which is really weird because I normally don't buy vehicles that run. I normally buy non-runners. And it's a huge truck. I ended up getting rid of Chappie a few months ago. We paid a lot of things off. We got a lot of work done on our house, and I needed something to basically work on and also help me develop what I'm trying to do in the next couple of months, which I'll keep that as a secret for now. But I have something in the works which requires me to have this truck right here. So he's been dubbed El Chapo by my girls. Don't know where it came from, but I loved it. I also don't think they know who El Chapo is. So this is El Chapo. He is a 1994 F350 dually, and it's a Powerstroke. It's a 7.3 liter turbo diesel, and it's my favorite diesel platform. I'm not really sure what I would call this. It's not going to be super elegant, but it's definitely going to have some creature comforts because I will be sleeping in this vehicle overnights through all different kind of climates. This is what I picked up recently. I got this cap right here. Cap did not come with the vehicle, but it's very period. It's like it was made for it, actually. Kind of weird. This right here is a 375 watt solar panel, and it's pushing right around 10 amps at, I'd say, 47 volts. But this is Unistrut right here, and it was super simple. Buy yourself two 10-foot sections, cut them up into whatever configuration you'd like, and bolt them together. Put a couple of bushings right here to elevate this from the actual roof, so when it rains we have a way for the rain to come off of the roof, and also give some airflow for the solar panel itself, because when panels get hot they don't perform as well. Super low profile, panel sits right in it. I can slide the panel in either direction, left or right, and I'm thinking about actually putting a tilt in this so the panel will come up this way so I can angle it towards the sun and get those full 375 watts. We have a set of Thule roof racks right here. Found them also on Facebook Market for super cheap, so I just had to have them. And then we have this vacant space right here where I think I'm either going to put a basket or build some kind of deck, just to kind of like load some things up here so we're not hanging out right here on the roof. Again, this is 10 feet long, so that's how big the entire rack system is, and it is 4.5 feet wide. Sorry I didn't do a video on this because, like I said, it was super simple, and I just want to get it done. So it's a little weird being in a situation where I'm not really sure what I want to do with the build. It happened so quickly, purchased it. How much money I'm going to invest in this, I'm not entirely sure. That solar panel I purchased years ago. So yeah, anyway, stop talking, let's go. That's essentially the idea. Well, I have 1, 2, 3 bays done. The fourth bay is actually 2 inches wider than these bays, and I only had 4 sheets of insulation left, and I didn't even measure that. I just cut them because I figured they were all the same size. So I cut my last piece of insulation about 1 3/4 inches too short. And this was supposed to be like a free build because all this came with the house when we moved in. This is just leftover basement board insulation. So I'll have to either go out and buy another piece, which I'll most likely do. I know it's a pickup truck. It's just a cab. The floors will be cold, but at least if I could keep some of the heat from escaping from the top, that'd help me out during winter. Yeah, so this is what we got. But yeah, so that's the first step on this camper build. So now I'll go to the store and get some more supplies. And we'll cut to that later date in 3, 2, 1. So the only thing that I did purchase for this build was some pine board. And to be exact, it is Pacific Knotty cedar planking. I bought 2 stacks of these when I first started building. These were about $15 and now they're $26, so inflation. I've done this before in the past on Chappie. I love the way these boards make the whole vehicle look and smell. So let's get these boards installed. So these right here are the grade 8 bolts that holds the rack that I built out of Unistrut to the vehicle. So I have to take these guys off, push this up, so I can slide in the next panel. What I'm basically going to do is just mark 14 inches from the edge. That's where I want my light to go. So, boop. So as you can see, I have my positive and negative wires lined up right where these holes are. And these holes are where the lights are going to be. So initially, I was going to put a much larger washer and have it compress against the wood. And I actually thought twice about having that kind of install, because that washer is going to be placing a lot of force on these little boards, and they're not super thick, and I'm pretty sure with enough tension you could probably just push all the way through and snap the board. So what I did was cut a 3/4 inch hole, and then I put a washer in there, and that washer is resting against this aluminum structure, which is where my rooftop solar system is bolted into. So I also extended through the roof, and that's where the bolt comes through the roof. Goes through this little bushing right here, through the aluminum support, and right here into this DIY roof rack that I made for my solar. So I'm going to install some Sikaflex around the side and the top of these bolts to make sure that they are 100% watertight. And while I'm here, I'm going to get rid of these guys because they're probably original and the gaskets are gone, and I want to prevent this from leaking. Sealing all this stuff up with Proflex. Right on top. That should give us a nice seal. Then here's the locking nut right up here, and we'll have to go below to tighten it. We're going to lay a little bit of this down on top of these panels right here. So the goal right now is to seal these planks right here to protect them and also to make them pop a little bit more. On the downside is that once they are all stained, you don't really smell the cedar anymore, and that sucks. But I want them to live. I want them to last as long as possible. Okay, so got my heater going. It's on the low setting right now, and even with this bay window open, I feel the heat in here. And the only reason this window is gonna stay open is so I can get some light. Yeah, but it's raining right now. These panels are going to take about 12 to 24 hours to cure, especially in this kind of temperature right now. While I was hanging out waiting for oil to cure, or basically waiting for paint to dry, these are my puck lights. So I already installed 2 connectors on them, and what we're going to do is use 2 parasitic butt connectors that'll crimp onto the wires, so you don't have to cut anything, no soldering. I used them in my last install, they worked out really well. I'm super pleased with this coat. I don't think I'm gonna have to do another one. I think I laid it on thick enough. Looks beautiful. So, switching gears, since yeah, I don't think I'm gonna put another coat. I think it's perfect. We're gonna handle this wall right here. I'm not going to do the tongue and groove stuff because I want to be able to mount things on the wall. So I got 1/2 inch OSB. Here's the cutlass right here. This is the shape I'm cutting. Already have it marked up. And here's my guide. I don't have a sponsor, so if you're looking, you know, to help out a small channel, track saw right here. We need it. My battery is draining way faster today. It's about 29, 30 degrees. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I went from having 100% to 40% in about 15 minutes. So don't know how much of this I'm gonna record, but this is what the wall looks like right here. I'm essentially just gonna flip this upside down, cut the exact same copy, and place it on that wall right there. Not gonna bore you with the details on that, mainly because my battery's about to die and I'm cold. So I'm gonna try to push through this really quick. Yeah, but I'm super happy with the way this looks. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it raw or seal it or paint it or cover it with some kind of sound deadening material. Looks really clean. On to the next one. It's winter. It gets dark a lot earlier than we'd like. And there's so much time left in the day to get stuff done. So I'm gonna get some electrical done. I got my buddy cranking. It's about 28 degrees out right now. I'm here in a jacket and it's already getting kind of hot in here. So these right here are the parasitic connectors that I was telling you about. They just go right over the wire and you squeeze tight. There's a blade in there, or it'll crimp the wire, and then you take the termination, you poke them in right here. Put the connector on there like so. And squeeze it down. And you'll feel it click. That's it. And these are the connectors that'll poke right into the back of that yellow parasitic connector. It's as simple as that. Makes wiring lights super quick. We'll add some 12 volts to it. We got lights. Just gonna do that a couple more times. I actually do have a more in-depth video on my last build, so if you're really curious, I'll throw a card up somewhere, probably this side of the screen or that side of the screen, not sure. This is what it really looks like when you're doing a build, guys. Don't let all that editing fool you. It's chaos all the time. So I took a poll and asked people on the Instagram, what color should I paint this interior panel, and blue was the choice. It was between two different paint cans that I had left over, one blue, one green. And I'm happy with it. I also ripped this in half because there was some dead space I was not a fan of, and I wanted to sit more flush on the wall. So cutting in half eliminated that dead space. Started working on this area the other day, and here's the power cord that goes right into the Yeti. We turn the Yeti on, we have no power. Up until we actually hit the light switch. This is the main feed for these lights right here. Like I said earlier, I want to keep this super modular in the event I need to do truck stuff, and I don't want any wires or anything like that hanging out in the way when I'm loading things in and out. I also didn't want to make a permanent connection or have this feed off of the truck battery because I didn't want to drain the truck battery. So like I said, there's going to be a power station in this area, mainly this kind of footprint right here. We're going to install this next panel right here.